Hello Synapse community, my name is Ryan Majitimer, and I'm a product manager on the Azure Synapse Analytics team. Let me tell you, when your producer tells you they've got an exciting, brand new quote-unquote studio, don't believe them. At any rate, welcome to the October edition of the Learn Synapse video series. Today we're going to be talking about data ingestion from Dynamics 365 into your Synapse environment. We've got a fancy wizard to take you step by step through the process. It's an easy workflow. I think you'll like it a lot. We're going to take a couple of tables. We're going to land them into our default data lake as Parquet files. And then we've got a simple SQL query for you to get to them. Now, keep in mind, we're going to use one of our native connectors from a linked service for Dynamics 365. Let's dive in. We're going to start with our Dynamics 365 environment, and as you can see, we can navigate into our sales dashboard, which has work items, open leads, recent calls, pipelines by stage, and opportunities at risk, among other artifacts. If we open our opportunities, we can navigate and search for details. We can do the same in our Accounts tab if we want to dig in for more information. Let's now open our Synapse Studio homepage and hit our ingest option. From the copy wizard, we're going to leverage the built-in copy task to ingest two tables, opportunities and accounts. As we hit next, this will take us to define our source type and set the connection where we can choose from more than 100 built-in connectors. We can search for our Dynamics 365 connector in the search bar and then define the properties of this new connection. We just need to define the name of the connection. By default, we can leverage our integration runtime, and from our D365 environment, we can grab the service URI. For the purpose of this demo, we're going to use an Office 365 authentication type, but for best practices, we recommend leveraging the key vault to protect sensitive data such as passwords and connection definitions. Once we finish setting up the connection, we can actually test whether the connection is working good, and if so, hit the Create button. As our next step, we'll be using this connection and defining our source tables. We can use this list or search the tables that are available to ingest. After selecting the tables, we can even preview the data before moving forward. Let's define the destination type in our connection. In this scenario, we're picking as our destination one of our Azure Data Lake Gen 2 instances and browsing one of the containers so we can drop the tables into a folder. We can also define the file structure type, which in our case is going to be a Parquet. As soon as we move to our next step, we can define the file format, Parquet, and the compression type. And finally, we can set up some additional settings such as task name, description, and so on. We can review all of the properties in our final step before proceeding. After all those steps, we can see that the process is deploying. And we can take a look at all the tasks such as creating data sets, pipelines, and running pipelines. Now is a good time to use our Monitor tab in Synapse Studio to observe how the pipeline run's going. Just with a click in our pipeline names, we can see the details such as activity runs and the duration for each task. Clicking the monitoring option in one of our tasks, we get the details of the task such as rows read, peak connections, duration, throughput, and more. We can also click on the refresh option to see if our pipeline ended successfully for all those tasks. Going back to our data hub in the left pane of Synapse Studio, we can explore our destination connection, in this case our ADLS Gen 2 container, and folder structure. With just a few clicks, we can drill down into our folder structure, bronze layer, and then D365 folder, and we can see our two tables from our Dynamics 365 environment sitting here as Parquet files. From there, we can even execute a T-SQL script to take a look at the contents of those tables. Well, that wraps up our video for today. We showed how easy it was to ingest all of your D365 data into your Synapse Data Lake. Tell us in the comments, have you used the built-in wizard for ingesting data from D365? I'd love to hear about it. Again, my name is Ryan Majitimer. You can find me on Twitter. You can find Synapse on Twitter Azure_Synapse. Also, if you love social media, you are a very active Twitterer, then I have just the program for you, the Azure Synapse Influencer Program. It's very exciting. There's titles, contender, challenger, and the third one, at any rate. It's very fun, very exciting. We have events, exclusive Q&As. I sometimes attend these Q&As as an expert. At any rate, it's very fun, very easy to sign up. There's a link in the description for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.